Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, however you say her name. This is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, who is like a big time mainstream primetime news anchor lady. I don't know what her name is. I don't know what the name of her show is. I know she does that show with like the morning show with Huda, that's her name? Or am I getting the name wrong? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to get into this because I actually wanted to do a reading on this a few days ago, as I've been saying for a lot of these readings. And the energy that came out, I think the day after her disappearance, is what I'll be reading. And then we're going to clarify some of the details. Now, I am going to preface this by saying that something about this seems to go back to the reading where I said the letter N is significant. I don't know exactly why, but there are two missing persons cases that are taking our attention, and there's got to be a bigger reason as to why. I do feel like I know what's happening, but we're just going to let the cards speak. I don't want to speculate too much because this is a sensitive issue and it's very time sensitive also. So let's get into it. Okay, now I did watch one press conference today, but I haven't been really keeping up with all of the details. I know some things, but not enough. And we're also being kind of like breadcrumbs right now because it is a sensitive case. But anyway, so there's some specific details that came out about the time. There's something here about a car, a spouse. It's a lot. Okay. So we're going to try to walk through it and then get to the nitty gritty. Now I have a broken headlight here. And I do find this card to be very interesting as like one of the first to come out, because I think as of yesterday, there was reports of Savannah's sister's car officially being brought in for evidence. So if it's being impounded by the police, chances are there's something either within it or on the outside of it that is significant. They have not talked about the details of the car, but we do have broken headlight here, or there could be something broken within the car that is significant. We have lunchtime encounter, which I haven't heard anything about anything happening during the day, but maybe sometime during lunch on this same day, there was maybe some type of conversation that was had about certain things. I don't know. Now we have gunshot residue present. Nobody's talked about a gun. So again, I don't know what this is about. Now we have 1:11 a.m., which I think is very significant because at 1:11 a.m., what could have been happening? Now, I do know that they've been trying to develop this little timeline about what they think has happened or whatever, and when the abduction supposedly happened. And I think they landed on like 2 a.m. because they said something about like the ring light or whatever her digital doorbell was. It picked up on some energy, like around 1 something. Now, so 1:11 is very significant. 1:11 a.m. is significant. Their spirit hasn't crossed over. Now, this card kind of confused me because I was trying to figure out, I was hoping that she's obviously not dead. But again, I wasn't all the way sure. Now, the fact that their spirit hasn't crossed over yet at the time of this reading, that could have been the case. Not saying it's not the case now too, but I do have some other cards that kind of draw my attention. We'll go back to that in a second. Another important detail here that came out in the cards. And again, by the way, I am pulling from my crime deck. So that's why we have these specific details. Now, there's no forced entry, yet signs of a struggle. No forced entry, yet signs of a struggle. Now, I feel like this is a crazy card to come out because there's so many so many people who are given conflicting reports. There's one lady who, as a news anchor, I feel like she knows of Savannah, but I don't know how closely she works with her. And then there's another lady, Nancy Grace, which everybody knows who that is. She's worked with her while they were at Fox or whatever, but different reporters close to the situation who said they have all these close resources and sources and things of that have been saying different things. One person said it was no forced entry, another person saying that it was forced entry. Now they're talking about the back door versus the front door. So this is clearing all of that up. There was no forced entry. Yes, there was signs of a struggle. There are blood drops at the front door. Okay, most likely nosebleed or some type of head wound, whatever. Now, the issue here is where this story gets fishy. We have a corrupt official. Now, the corrupt official, when I think about corrupt officials, I think about like, law enforcement, cops or whatever, but it can go farther up the line. The chain of command can change. So I don't know what's going on with there. We have trauma bonding. Private cloud holds truth, which I also find was interesting. So this private cloud being her access to maybe an Apple account or something like that. Like, I do know she had heart issues. I don't know if these medications have to do with her heart, but she does have a pacemaker. It's connected to her Apple phone. It was turned off at a certain point around the same time that the ring light was turned off or something like that. So they're not making it the time of death, but it's the time of like unpinging her location. Okay, so the private cloud holds the truth. Someone was following the victim. So somebody could have been following her or knew her schedule very well. Pisces moon and Aries moon is here. So I don't know if this is just like Piscean and Aryan energy within the reading, or if this is the moon signs of the people involved, whatever. I don't really care about that, to be honest. Who cares? I mean, like, if you guys want to look that up, cool. But as of right now, while I'm in the middle of the reading, I don't care about that detail. Now we have a manipulative mastermind, and then we have a spouse or partner. So people have been trying to talk about the fact that there is a prime suspect. That's another conflicting report that I've been hearing. The official statement from police in that conference does not say anything about them having a prime suspect. However, nobody's being ruled out at the moment. Prime suspect versus person of interest has also been thrown around, which I think is like very reckless of people who are doing the reporting right now, especially since this is a high profile case. And Savannah knows how these things go. So I'm pretty sure it's like a lot of gut-wrenching details or moments that she could be experiencing with her family due to misreporting. Oh, my computer's gonna die. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I don't know where I left off. Something about like the spouse of the sister. So Savannah's sister has a husband who they've been like showing his picture and almost trying to like blame him for it. I don't know exactly why that is happening. I don't know if it's because he looks non-white. I don't know, like it feels very trivial as to why they're showing a bearded man, dark, tall, attractive, whatever, but it's something about that is significant. Now, I've been picking up on this story, and part of what brought me to like kind of pause is because sometimes I get downloads on stuff and it seems completely unrelated to the reading and how it's coming out. So I kind of wait to try to see if I'm discerning the right thing or not. And it feels like I am picking up on the same thing. So I'm going to say it. There is something about this story that feels extremely connected to something larger. And I've been saying that a lot of these stories that have come out are super related, and they're trying to organize them in such a way to where we don't connect the dots, because it would create a certain level of mass hysteria. If we figured out, and I'm just going to throw this out there, this is, not even a hypothetical, but a strong possibility that there could be something politically charged with this situation. Now, I'm not saying that the spouse of Savannah's sister is creating this mastermind plan to take an 84-year-old lady who has a heart condition as a play for political purposes. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that they may use him as some type of scapegoat, and it could be a larger thing that's happening. Because why is there a ransom? This is not the 80s and 90s. I don't remember the last time I heard. I mean, I know people have ransoms all the time. I know that's still a thing to this day. But as far as like, you know, and not saying that this happened either, but cutting out letters and putting each one, like that's the vibe that I feel like they're trying to read. Like they're trying to offer us an explanation for these very strange details that are coming out. And I think it's because it is a larger security issue. And it feels like it could be some demonstration by some larger group. I don't know if it's those punk rockers that I've been picking up on. Go back to my other reading, but it does feel like it's some type of organized something as a demonstration. Now, mind you, not saying that this is connected as well, but it is interesting that she was going to be hosting the Olympics. And we know how the Olympics are going to bring in a whole lot of money, and the companies and the countries that are involved with funding the Olympics. We also understand the coverage. We also understand that people like to use large events like that to, you know, demonstrate certain things. But it just feels like a security issue, and there's somebody's trying to make a point about something. They're not going to tell us the official story. I don't really think they're going to do that. Now let's move on, because I don't even want to go too far down the rabbit hole with that. Soul chose this death. Now, this is what made me start to question that their spirit hasn't crossed over. It's like maybe, another card that came out was Tuesday. So Tuesday was significant. There's also something significant about Tuesday in this other case that that I'm going to go in on soon after this one. So I feel like this is all somehow coming together. And that case makes me, I'll actually say that for the video. Anyway, their guilt is loud. So somebody could be feeling really guilty right now. Somebody can know exactly what's up. I'm okay with being wrong at some point, right? I'm okay with being wrong about what I'm saying. However, something about the video that Savannah posted with her family seemed, what is the word? Not elaborate. It not 100% performative, but there's an element there. It's like and maybe forced. Like, I don't think she really wanted to do it, but who wants to do that? Okay, like let's just put some human emotion to it. Who would want to sit in front of a camera expressing your, emotion about your mom who's been abducted by someone who is unknown? Okay, and you still don't know where she is. The fact that they're talking about asking for proof of life, and which tells me there's a lot of communication back and forth. And it may not even be a lot. That's an assumption. But there is communication back and forth. There's a ransom of some sort. So somebody wants something in exchange for something. Now, that's the part that we need to be questioning. What is it that they want? Why are they asking Savannah for it, or the family? And it's most likely Savannah. I'm just going to put it on Savannah, because I had already been picking up on a reading. I don't know if I posted it. It was supposed to be the part 2, and I speak on it, but it's a part 2 to this other reading where I was talking about a mainstream person. It was like a mainstream personality, and oh fuck, I can't even remember, and I'm not gonna make it up, but I can feel the energy from that reading, and it feels very similar to where it's like you doing some type of I just keep hearing the word demonstration. It's some type of demonstration that they're doing. Now, portal opened at the time of death. They summoned something they couldn't control. That just seems so far out of the box for me. I don't know. Somebody could summon something that they couldn't control. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole we could go with that. I don't want to go there right now. Okay, broad daylight is also here. Witness comes forward, and then there's the last witness. The last witness, I don't know if that's the same as the witness that comes forward. However, the last witness is the person who would usually be the person of interest. But they're not saying that the husband of Savannah's sister is the one who saw her last. They're just, or did they? They might have said that, but then I thought they said that the sister was the one who saw her last. So I don't know what's going on. And as far as I'm concerned, all these reports are incorrect, because if the police is coming out to the conference talking about, I don't know where y'all are pulling out these reports from, then I'm questioning everybody. I'm surely questioning the police still, because we have this corrupt official here and they don't want to get shit wrong, but they also don't want to tell us too much because that could disrupt the case. And it could throw people off. But then on top of that, you have these news anchors who may know Savannah and want to kind of sink their teeth into a high profile story like this one. And some of them are just nosy and using their resources and kind of taking advantage of some of these connections and relationships that they have within journalism. So that's another element to think about as well. Secret child and family tree. Now, this one kind of seems off to the left. I don't know if there's a situation where the husband might have been cheating on the wife and he didn't want somebody to find out, or somebody already knew, or somebody found out some information and gave them a time limit to do something and he panicked, or if this is about if this is about a secret child in general, because I mean, children have been like a main topic, so that's always a possibility. Again, I don't want to rack my brain about what could be, especially since this is too active right now. So a lot of this energy is subject to change and it's open to interpretation. Even by myself. So I may hear this back and be like, that's not what I meant when I seen this car and that. So anyway, broad daylight, witness comes forward, the last witness. We have a corrupt official, no forced entry, 1:11 a.m. Private cloud holds the truth. All right. Trauma bonding. I feel like this relationship might be, there's got to be something going on with Savannah's husband's relationship with the girl, the sister, whoever that lady's name is. I don't know her name. Savannah's sister. Savannah's sister and her husband must have been going through something, because for them to put him out, for that to be like information that comes out, you get what I'm saying? First, it's almost as if like the family is pushing a suspect out because that's what they think, or he fits the bill of somebody who would do something like this, or they're going through something financially. That's something that also needs to be taken into consideration. Was the sister standing to be like a beneficiary to something from the mom? Do they have a policy out on the lady? Were they trying to, use her as 100% just the pawns to make Savannah give money to them? Like, is this some type of weird Gone Girl situation, but the mom doesn't know she's the Gone Girl? I don't know. Okay. I just know that this is, it's a lot more messed up than they are telling us. Any other final details that we need to know before I close out? Because I don't want to spend too much time here. If there are other developments, or if I feel led, I will do a part 2, of course. Mysterious sudden death. Aries sun. So there's definitely some Aries energy here. Please, somebody let me know if there's something going on with Aries. Who's in Aries? Is it Savannah, the husband, the mom, the sister? Who's the Aries? Somebody's crazy. And then we have stabbing. Mysterious sudden death and a stabbing. I don't know if this is this Aries trying to pull a fast one. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Confession disguised as a joke. There's a confession disguised as a joke. So somebody could have been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill your mom. Not that juvenile, but you know what I'm trying to say, like, oh, this is what I would do if I kill somebody. Or this is what I would do if I were to kidnap somebody. It's like somebody putting themselves in the scene of a hypothetical crime. Somebody could have said that in jest, and that could be like a red flag to people who are like having to report or make statements. Again, that could be about like this witness that comes forward, multiple witnesses, but no leads. The mirror. Okay, so somebody within the family is like the reflector. They're the ones who hold up the mirror to everyone else. That could be some cause for like resentment. I don't know why I'm picking up on that. Oh my God, the car that just flew out on top of the corrupt official was kidnapping gone wrong. Kidnapping gone wrong. I'm telling you something. This was not supposed to go like this, and this is some other shit going on. It's like maybe they held the lady too long. She can't be without her medication, and she dies. You know, it could be as simple as that. Like maybe they didn't put into consideration like the medicine that she needs. That's what happens when you are messy and reckless and you don't really think this shit through. Not to say to the killers and the kidnappers that you need to be thinking stuff through, but I mean, if you want to at least get a little further along, that it would make sense for you to do that. It doesn't seem like that's happened. Okay. These reincarnated to testify. I don't know. This is why I kind of wanted to stop, because I feel like there's gonna be more info that comes out that has to do with the future, and I don't want to foretell or see something about an old lady dying. I just, you know, I don't even like doing dead persons cases, let alone missing persons, because if you missing, most likely we're gonna find you and not alive. A lot of times, so like the chances of people coming back from a missing persons case, it's kind of crazy. Okay, near death vision shared. Now those are personal details. I don't know. Maybe there could have been situations where she almost died. I don't know. She has a pacemaker. Anything is possible. And I'm not saying that lightly. It's just, I don't like when I can obviously tell. And this happens not every single time I do a reading on like a headline, but it happens every so often where I will do a reading and I will automatically know it's not going to come out the way that it's being told in the story. So I'm going to have to like use my real spidey senses in another way, and also walk through the reading with a certain level of care and discretion, because I'm having to go through, you know, sift through the lies and the energy that they want you to put up as like the framework for it, but go behind the curtain. And that's kind of annoying. I don't know. So I'm kind of irritated. I want to go. I'm going to do this next missing persons case. So I will see you in the next one. I'm sorry how this has gone. I kind of feel like it was a little chaotic, but you get the drift. Okay. It's some bullshit going on, and that's just what it is. I don't know how far everybody's involved in this situation, but I'm going to say this. Savannah might look guilty. She might start looking guilty, but not because she did something, more so because of the fact that she feels responsible. She feels like her name, her notability, and all that is part of what got her mom in this situation. And that may be true. It's not her fault though. But anyway, love you guys. See you in the next one. Hit the like and subscribe, all the stuff. Love you. Bye.